Hello, theater folks. I'm Frank Kinnear. I'm a 2021 graduate of Apple Valley High School, and I was in theater for all 4 years of my high school career. And my favorite part about theater was definitely the community that we built within the theater, or all the friendships you make when you're there. Because theater is like one big melting pot of random kids from throughout the school that you never think that you would be friends with. And even if you're just friends with them for the 2-3 months that you're in a show together, in the fall or the spring or the winter, I guess, I've made some of my best memories with some of those just random kids that I never thought I'd be friends with. So that's definitely the most awesome part about theater to me. Yeah, I encourage you all to stick with it for 4 years, because it's definitely worth it.
Hey everybody, I'm Erin Schwab and I am here with a very exciting announcement. We're going to be announcing the fall musical for 2021 at Apple Valley High School, and that musical is going to be Chicago, the high school edition. It's going to be super exciting. We spent so much time trying to figure out exactly the right story we wanted to tell this fall, and this is the one. We picked this story because we wanted to make sure we were telling a story that was relevant in the world, that was relevant to our students, and that our students could tell in a really interesting, innovative way with their voices. And I think this is the perfect show for that. Chicago is a very well-known musical, but it was, what people don't know is it was a story originally written by a woman who was a reporter in the early 1920s. Her name was Maureen Dallas Watkins. And she actually interviewed these people. A lot of people don't know. This is a real story. It's very exciting. So we'll be doing lots of research. But what a great idea to take a story written by a woman who was doing a job that a woman wouldn't necessarily do in the early 1920s and hand it off to our awesome storytellers here at Apple Valley High School. It is primarily or historically known as a really heavy dance show. So we're going to take that and we're going to make it more about telling the story of the show and less about the Bob Fosse. But we do have 3 fabulous choreographers working on this show. Darius Strong will be back. Kristen Blatzheim, as always, as the dance teacher here, will be choreographing some of the songs. And then we've added a new person to our list, which is Dan Hodges. We're very excited to have Dan, who will also be doing some assisted directing. But Todd Peterson will also be back doing assistant directing as well as dialect coaching. We are thrilled to be able to have all of you here. If you want more information about auditioning for the show, go find Emily Volano, our new theater coordinator. Thanks a lot. Can't wait to see you at auditions.
By far, my favorite thing I was involved in theater at Apple Valley High School was the one-act play, which, if you did not know, is a competitive theater event hosted by the Minnesota State High School League. The show has to be under 35 minutes. The set has to be loaded in and loaded out within 10 minutes, and it's judged on specific acting, technical, and blocking criteria. It's a competition, yes, but the one act is never about winning the competition. It's about, like every theatrical production, telling a great story and leaving people changed and thinking when they leave the theater after watching you perform. But again, if the competitive aspect of one act makes you nervous at all, I would say just don't let it make you nervous, because again, that's really not what theater is about. So it really just, if you have any interest in being in one act, please go for it.
Hi, my name is Haley, and one of my favorite things about One Act is just the small, tight-knit community and family that we form in just a couple of months. And I suggest One Act to anyone who's interested in having a good competition and seeing shows from other schools and meeting people from other schools. And one way the AVHS theater has positively impacted my life is giving me another family to be with and somewhere where I truly belong.
Hi, I'm Sophie Payton. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the Winter One Act play. Imagine that the moon came to you, visited you in your dreams. What if she offered you promise of a world not your own? What if she offered you safety, comfort? Would you go with her? Now imagine yourself last year, or this year, or in a year just far enough into the future it feels close and distant simultaneously. Like Loki meets WandaVision. No, I'm just joking. But imagine climate change is here. It's taken over the world. Individualism runs rampant. We don't take care of each other the way that we should. We haven't learned to understand each other more. We're struggling. We're all struggling. So would you take the moon's escape? This year, our one act will be a new play written by Venetia Coleman about the moon, about change and escapes, about climate change and finding belonging, about friendships and love. This is a story about now, about how we grow towards each other, and what do we have to learn about ourselves along the way. The script is still being written, but we know that we'll have a main character, the moon, a very close friend, and 3 additional characters to help build out the world. Because one act is a competition and we travel to perform our play with lots of other schools, we can't have a huge set. So we will use some of these cast members, these 3 additional casts, to help build out the world of the play and to make it way bigger than one setting or one room could. For our tech students, I'm excited that we may be using some projections again this year, as well as some shadow and light play, which I'm super excited about. In addition to the incredible load-in choreography that we always build for one act and the backstage tracks that we finesse to perfection, we will be able to build and make this show under 35 minutes with our load-in and load-in process under 10 minutes, which is always an exciting challenge. In one act, we need each other to succeed. That's just the nature of the competition. We depend on each other to make it through. And I think that's what makes us unique. We have to start as a team and we have to end as a team, always. If you want to find out more or reach out to me or reach out to Emily for more details or to get in contact, we will have auditions in late November and I hope to see you there.
Think about that day I left him at a Greyhound station west of Santa Fe. We were 17, but he was sweet and it was true. Still, I did what I had to do.
Hi, I'm Todd Peterson. I'll be the director of the spring show at Apple Valley High School in March and April of 2022. The show will be Sense and Sensibility, from the story by Jane Austen, adapted by Kate Hamill. It's a delightful adaptation. They did it at the Guthrie recently. We'll be using their study guide. I'm excited about this project for the same reasons that I'm excited about every project at Apple Valley High School. It's another opportunity for the kids to develop their talents, for some self-exploration and self-expression. And this time around, I'm really excited about focusing on creating a really diverse cast with lots of accessibility. I'd love for all races to audition and all abilities to know that they have a place on the stage. The set will be accessible. What's unique about this project is the adaptation. This adaptation by Kate Hamill. As I said, everybody just says, oh, it's so delightful. And there's this aspect to it that I'm thrilled about, the gossips. There are many, many wonderful roles in the show, but I think the best ones are going to be the gossips. I can make it as big a group or small a group as possible, and they serve like as a Greek chorus, telling the story and commenting on the story, and they are dressed in their Victorian finery, and they have high attitude, and they're hilarious. And I think that's going to be a really, really fun part of this project. And I also think the costumes, the period that we'll be playing in, the Victorian period, the costumes with the empire waistline for the women and the fans and the hairdos, I think we're going to have a great time with the technical aspect of the show. And I just want to encourage everybody to find Emily Villano, our theater guru. Now her office is across from Mr. Byers, across from the theater, and you can ask her any questions you want. And you can get information. She'll be posting information on Schoology. I'm never sure I pronounced that right. And it'll be on the AVHS Arts and Activities page on Facebook and Instagram. And talk to your friends. But most importantly, listen to that. I always talk about this. You got that little voice in your head that says, that sounds like fun. I think I want to be in a play. I think I could do that. Listen to that voice. And you're going to be nervous about auditioning, and maybe you're new to school and you don't know any kids. Well, this is the place to get to know friends and get to know yourself. We have a blast putting on the play. So listen to that little encouraging voice that says, try out for Sense and Sensibility.
If you want more information about auditioning for the show, go find Emily Villano, our new theater coordinator. Done. Wrap it up.